now we'll talk about React. So whenever you hear about React, what is the first few questions that comes to your mind? React is based on JavaScript, right? Should I know JavaScript before starting React? Definitely the answer is React. Sorry, yes. Okay. And second question that you guys may get. Some people may have referred React as a framework, some as a library. So what is it? And to understand that, what is the difference between a library and a framework? So all these questions we'll answer later. So we'll not for now, if I answer these questions, right, it will be more a theoretical thing, okay? After a while, when we get started with React, when we have written some code, I can practically give you some answers, okay? So basic things, we'll keep the answer on the way. We'll not keep the boring part at the start and bore you guys. So I hope on the screen that you guys can say I've opened React docs. How you can open React docs? Just search for React docs and you may land up on some other pages. Just click on React logo and this is a page that will open to you. React docs. Perfect. So the step number one, a thing it has written, a JavaScript library for building user interfaces. So let me explain this line, then I'll talk about something useful. So basically, from this fact, it's clear it's library, but why this is a library, we'll talk about that later. It's a JavaScript library. That means React is based on JavaScript. So the prerequisite of React is JavaScript. Not everything in JavaScript, but yeah, if you are very much clear with like what do you say, if else, loops, basics of arrays, basics of strings, and the ES6 features, you are pretty much very good to go in React. If you are from some other background, don't know anything about JavaScript, anyway, this is a demo video, right? In the course, first we'll completely study JavaScript, then we'll come to React. So you don't need to worry about that. I'm just choosing a topic React because it's a quite popular topic. Okay. So I always open docs first. Why? Step number one. Whenever we talk about React or any framework or any library, what is a constant thing that keeps happening to them? They gets updated. So whenever something gets updated, something can change from the previous versions, okay? And something can be added up. So every time I will not be there as a mentor to help you guys. So my way of start teaching is make you guys self-sufficient. So after you end this course, you guys don't have to depend on me. And that is a quality of a senior developer. Junior developer, like a lot of junior developer does not know it. I will share you an interesting thing. In one of my, that was a kind of a part-time job for me, okay? I was like in a very early stage of my life, okay? Not my life, my career, okay? Maybe like I just started, okay? Then I gave an interview and he simply asked me some question. I told that I don't know. Maybe this. So he told that, okay, in case if you don't know, what will you do? I think I have seniors, I'll just ask them. Okay. Then he asked, okay, what if a senior told you this is the answer? Then what will you do? Then I'll say, I'll gladly accept it and go move on. Then what happened? Then he just told me one thing. Why that is the particular answer? Did you try to investigate on it? Okay. How did you know that the senior told you the correct answer? Did you try to look that answer on internet? Did you try to find that answer? Okay, what if you get a similar problem? A little twisted version of that problem. Will you again go back to senior and ask it? This step is not good. Again, going back to someone, depending on someone. He literally wrote this in my rejection mail. He wrote this. This is the reason why you are rejected. Then I realized why it is important, right? To learn this. I literally consulted with a lot of senior developers that told me when you are beginning or when you are junior developers, people don't focus on it a lot. But when you become a senior, like you'll not become a senior until you follow these steps. So we'll follow these steps from the scratch. Step one, always follow the documentation. Okay. Whatever steps we do, we will do it or before doing it or after doing it. Depends on the approach sometime. Okay. We'll go to the documentation. I'll show you. I did not bring something out of the scale. Like I'll create a React application. It will have some set of commands, right? I will not create that commands. React will technically give me those commands. So where to refer for those commands? Everything we'll see it. Okay. So this course will not only help you guys to learn React, but also have a mindset of a senior developer. That's quite important. Okay. You can literally learn anything once you have the proper mindset. Okay. That's awesome. So just give me a second, guys. I think, okay. Now I think it's better. Let's continue. Okay, so step number 1, this is a React, doc that I have opened. So we'll see few things in the docs. Of course, you cannot study all the things. So the few things that I want to show you now. The first thing is declarative. Okay, then the second thing it says is component based. Third thing it says learn once and write anywhere. Like these are the 3 principles of React. You can say even features of React. Okay, so I'll first talk about component based. Okay, declarative, and then I'll also talk about little bit of learn once. Declarative will talk a little later. Okay, so the point when you'll understand what declarative actually means. Okay. So component based technically means, let's imagine a function. Okay, so component based is not exactly a function, but for now let's suppose it like. Okay, so now if you're writing a lot of code, okay, what will happen? Sometimes you have to literally repeat those piece of code, right? So if you include that piece of code in function and you call that function again and again, so what will happen? The code reusability will increase, right? One function can interact with other functions. You can call one function inside another function, and several functions can be called inside another functions. So there are a lot of possibilities, right? So component is something like this. Okay, not exactly functions, but yeah, it will look something like that. Okay, we'll see. So this is some examples, so you can just visualize component. Okay, so basically that's the role of component with some additional features. Learn once, write anywhere. So basically, like you can say, React has a lot of use, right? It is literally used to make web apps, even Android application, iOS application, website. So there is a difference between website and web app, a thin line of difference. Okay, so React has a lot of purpose. Okay, for declarative we'll see later. So declarative deals something with like JavaScript DOMs. Okay, so I don't want to use that word as of now, but let's proceed with this. Okay, so these are like the 3 principles that React follows and suggests us to follow it. Okay. Now React has given you some examples how you should use. Okay, so now he has given you this example. Do it look weird now? We are not interested in that. Okay, the only one thing that I am interested, it has used something called class. Okay, so there are 2 types of components you can imagine. Okay, one is a function based component that looks something like a function. One is a class based component. But what happens after the new update, after like some update, like you can say from last 2 years or something, we don't use class based component a lot. You can use it, but function based component are more preferred. Though in the course we'll do both class based and function based, but we'll focus more on function based. There are several reasons why function based is more preferred. We'll also see that. So then you will say, why in the documentation we have included class based? For a very simple reason, the documentation has got a little outdated. And I think some engineers like us are lazy enough to update it. You can relate it, right? Okay. Anyway, but in that case, what to do? This is with React, which is like really maintained by Facebook, right? You guys know React has been made by Facebook. If this is the status of this, then what, I literally cannot depend on other documentation. No, it's not like that. Most of the documentation are updated. It might be also be updated soon. But in any case, if the documentation is not updated, GitHub repo is always updated. So like, let's search for get started with React. Sorry, what did I search? I may have already searched it. Yeah. Get started with React GitHub. Okay. So Facebook has created it. So we literally land on their repo. Okay. Let it open. So now they have a lot of code. For now, it's keeps. Okay. I will will believe it like, oh, it's some piece of crap. I don't understand. Totally okay. But when we come down, they have given us some useful information. How to create a reactor and some more user guide. Okay. So when I talk about creating an app, okay, so they have already written it here. But if you want to click here and go, you can also go. This is how you should create a React app. So we'll understand what is the meaning of npx, create a React app and everything. Don't worry. Let's come to the top. Now, why I brought you the documentation to see this command? Let's see this. Currently, we follow this command to create a React application. Earlier, we used to follow this. The commands got updated. Don't get frequently updated, but you should have a habit. Okay. Step number 1. So now we got a command. Okay. so npx create React app, okay, and then my app. My app is the name of your project. Like if you want to create a project Hello World, you will name it Hello World, okay. Create React app. This will basically create your React application. And what is npx? Then after a while, it is written npm and all that, right? Okay. So some more commands are there, so we'll literally understand that. Okay. So the prerequisite to get started with React is you have to install Node. So I'll not cover the Node installation in this, but just I'll tell you guys. Okay. Node install. So based on operating system, it can differ. Like you can literally install it anywhere, but as a Mac user, I generally suggest in some other way to install it. Okay. In a Linux user, I may suggest some other. In a Windows user, I may suggest some. They may have a different approach. So you can use the same approach as of now. In the course, we'll discuss it more better way. Okay. So for now, you guys can install Node.js. Okay. Make sure you guys install the LTS version. Okay. This is like lifetime support. Okay. So if you make a project on this version, you'll get a lifetime support for this. Okay. Otherwise, sometime older versions are not supported. Apple users, you may relate to this. Okay. Okay. So once let's suppose you install this. Okay. Based on your operating system, you can download it. Okay. Okay. So after installing it, we guys will come to some important tools that is called terminal. Like I have made it big. So I've literally opened everything, so I don't waste much time. Okay. So terminal. Okay. So now, if you're in Windows, you will have something called as CMD. But I don't suggest you guys to use CMD. Instead, in Windows, we'll download something called Git Bash. Okay. That will be downloaded with Git. Okay. So Git will be covered much before we come to React. Okay. So you have to run these commands in that. Okay. Okay, why? Because most of the time you guys will be working in Linux environment or Mac. Mac is technically a Linux environment. Okay, let's not Windows. Being in a Microsoft, I'm promoting other operating system. That's quite bad, but that's the reality. Even Microsoft gave me a MacBook Pro to work on, right? Although it was my demand also. They literally ask you. Okay. Okay. So what are the commands that I should write here? So first, what I'll do. I want to navigate to my folder. So how do we navigate to that folder? Which folder you want to do? So what I'll do, I'll bring my Finder. Okay. And don't worry guys, I'm using Mac, but technically I have both Windows and Mac. Okay, like I will use Windows 365, the new product launched by Microsoft, right? So if there is some difference at some place, I'll show you in both the things. Okay. Most of the time there will be no difference, but sometimes there can be difference. I'll show you definitely. So let's go to our teaching folder and we will create a folder called demo. So what are these? These are name of some of my batches. Okay, let's not read few names. Okay. It's up to batch, what happens in the batch, what name do you want to keep, then we keep a name. Okay. Okay. So inside the demo, I want to create a project, React project. So I need to navigate to demo. So there are a number of ways. Okay. So what will we do? Okay. So I will write ls. ls will basically list you what are the current directories. Okay. All the current directories. Okay. So these are the current directories. Okay. So I basically want to go to teaching, right? Because I'm inside teaching. So where is my teaching? This is teaching. So let's write cd teaching. Once you have written that, click on enter. So now if you press ls, so you'll get the list of items that is present inside teaching, right? All the items are there. You need this is not an error, right? This is the name of my folder. Okay, so basically some student decided this name. I went with that. You guys will also have a name when you join. Okay, think of a good name from now. So our name was demo, right? So let's go to demo. cd demo, small letter, capital letter. Okay. So we are done. If you have to clean this thing, so you can press Control K. Like if Control K will Control L. Basically, it will work in all operating system, or for specialized for Mac users, Command K. What is the best operating system according to me? This is some questions by, of course, Mac. Okay, and you guys also know it. But okay. Okay. So now, what are now we'll run that commands, right? The commands that I learned here. npx. Okay. But before running this command, I want to check few things. npx. So What is npx? I told you guys to install Node. I'll assume that Node is installed. But npx, we never talked about that. So basically what happens now for the latest version, a version of Node, as soon as you install Node, like Node -b, you can check the version of Node. Okay. If you check it, if you have installed it, maybe you can have a different number. Not a problem. Until you have some number. Okay. Okay. The second thing, which node automatically npm will be installed. Like you guys will be using npm in the third command, right? Npm start the React application. Okay, you got it. And similarly npx -b. So that means things are installed. Now what is this node? What is this npm? What is this npx? We'll not have a, like, these are not much like things that need to be discussed now, but I'll give you a little idea. Node is the backend part. Generally, like what is a JavaScript cannot run alone, stand alone, so we need a server to run it. Does not make a lot of sense. That is what I told. Okay, npm is just like a package manager. Like sometime, let's suppose you are working on a project. Now let's suppose you are working on some feature and some other features, like you don't want to make it right on the scratch. Like every feature we don't make it from the scratch. Like people have already implemented some of the features. We just take their code and just modify it a little to use on our own. For example, I'll give you one example. I'm taking a very small and vague example so all of you guys can understand. Let's suppose I want to generate OTP. Generate, though it's a small piece of code, you can do it on your own, but anyway. Generate OTP, not for my HDFC debit card, but for NP. I write npm. Okay. So OTP generator npm. Okay. So basically, if I don't want to code OTP generator, I can literally use this OTP generator. How to use it, we all will see later. How to use this. Okay. And like this is like weekly download. So at least like almost 7,000 person is using it weekly. That's less. Okay. If I show you some of the popular one, literally crore, 10 lakhs, lot of people are using it. Awesome. So now, okay, so now this was like about npm. Similarly, npx is something like executable, okay, which helps you to run like the things that you npm is there. Basically, without installing it, we can run it. So we'll discuss about this. Okay, I don't want to go in depth there. Okay, for now. So where was I? I got lost. I was here. Okay, so things are here. So that is the main thing that we want to run. Okay, now we should start with our project. So let's create a project. Now guys, warning, if you are on an old laptop or like I am doing a lot of tasks, right? Even I'm recording your video, okay? Like I have a lot of things open here, right? Okay. So this thing will take time. It may take 1 minute, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, based on your operating system and about amount of RAM that is available to be used. Okay, this can take time, and this take times. Okay, I still remember when I first created it, and it took time. No one told me. Then I asked, "Is there some error? If there's something is happening?" And that time I had an old Windows laptop. I bought in first year. That's what I was using, and you can imagine how slow it was on that. Okay, so npx space, I'm creating a React application. Create dash React dash app and the name of my React application. So what name do you want to give? Let's suppose keep the name as hello world. Okay, so now we'll guys encounter an error. So what I'll do, when I teach you, I'll make sure that you guys get the obvious errors. So like whatever obvious error you can get it, so you don't have to come back again for those errors to me. Okay, and that is a good way of teaching, I believe. Okay, hiding the errors, you have to fight with errors on your own later alone. So if I run this, let's see. Let's wait for a second. This will give an error, so it will be fast. And we got the error. What is the error? Cannot create a project name hello world. So whenever you guys get an error, it's important to read the error. Errors are sometimes quite descriptive. I know if you are from a JavaScript background, you will say, really Abhishek? But yeah, forget about that, but it's there. Here you can read it. Cannot create a project name hello world because of npm naming restrictions. name can no longer contain capital letters. Awesome. So now the name does, I have put two capital letters, right? It's just not, it should start not with its, sorry. First letter is capital, so it's giving you error. There should not be any letter capital throughout the word, right? So let's run it again. After changing it, name, hello world. Of course, we can put a dash and all, but currently let's go with just this. Okay, hello world. Spelling is correct. Sometimes I just mess up with spelling a lot. npx create React. Now the process begins. It will take some time and its own sweet time. I'll not fast forward the video. You guys chill at that time. You guys can go and make a coffee and drink it. Till that time, let's come to React application. Like what they say, like our this React docs, and let's explore something. Right? Till that time, we'll enjoy. Okay, so this is the first page of React. Look nice, right? Okay, awesome. So now let's come to our tutorial section. This is the tutorial section. I want to show you something. Now let's come to docs section. Yeah. So in the docs section, okay guys, if you are noting like I'm looking here and there, that's because I'm using two screens. I think obviously you must have noted it, right? Okay. From one laptop I'm recording, from the second I'm teaching them. I love to working on two screens. Okay. And these are my personal screen, not the Microsoft. That's totally separate. I don't use it for any work other than Microsoft. Company rules and policies, right? Okay. Otherwise they can kick me out. Okay, so these are some of the concepts. Like these are main concepts. So main concepts are like the easier and basic concept that you guys should know before continuing with it. Like before doing anything in React. Okay? Then we have some advanced guys, some other things. Okay, so we literally cover all these topics. Not in this video, of course in the course. Okay, and in the advanced guys, it's everything here is not necessarily advanced. They are just like, yeah, this topic are there, they are little difficult, little less difficult. But the way I teach, let's suppose I teach you context. We guys will literally learn context and then do a project on context. So you guys will have a clear understanding of each and everything. Not a problem at all. So don't worry about anything. If a topic is difficult or if a topic is easy. No, topic is always easy. Just you guys should know how it can implement it. And if something looks hard, maybe the commands are hard. So if you practice commands once or two, done. Are we done? And it's still proceeding, right? It will take its own sweet time. So it should be fast, but I think I am on the call and all that. No, some of my RAM are being shared, right? So it's a little slow. So let it happen. We have some time. So now, also one thing guys, this is important. Not important, but yeah. Sometime when you are you guys get a little ahead in React. Sometime when you are trying to do a small React project, why to do this generation again and again? Some people literally can create some React application and keep it. Okay, so if they want to use it for later purpose, yeah, you can definitely do it. But there are some alternative options that we have. What are the alternative options? Like we have something like online compiler that you guys have studied, right? So here is the online compiler. So code sandbox. Okay. This is an online React compiler. Let it open. And I'll pause for a second, I think, because it may take a little time. Then again, I'll be back once that is done. Okay. And then I'll show you a few things. So this is kind of React. Okay. So guys, I am back after a little break, right? What was this break about? So that the things can be a little faster. And it is faster. You can finally see my React, this thing that used to take time got completed, and we have got happy hacking. Has nothing to do with real hacking. Hacking actually means coding, okay? Hacking does not mean hack out someone's account. No, nothing like that, okay? Okay, and of course we have got some set of commands like npm start, npm run build, npm test, build cds, okay? So basically once you get this, you're pretty much good to go. Okay, so now let's keep it here. Okay, let's close it. Also, this also got open. So this is like React Code Sandbox. When you're trying some new features, you guys can literally come here and try it. As of now, it may look weird, but after we do a small thing there, this will look, oh, it's so simple. Okay. So anyway, so now let's close this also. Close the Facebook. We have already created a project, right? That's all. Bye-bye. Okay. And we also don't need to this. Okay. But we need to keep this browser open, of course. Okay, I'll bring it here. So there are a lot of ways you can bring it. So I'll bring it like open folder. Where is my folder? Oh. So it's basically in my teaching folder, right? We created something called demo. Inside the demo, we have hello world. So I'll bring hello world. So it's about to visible. Okay, it got visible finally. That's really awesome. Now I have a weird list of files. The most weird I'll show you. We have not even started to code. And this node module, oh my god, I'm amazed. When will this end? It will soon end. But the good thing is, we will not touch this file 90% of the case. And as a beginner, so we'll never touch it. Okay, forget about touching it. Okay. The second folder, we'll have a discussion about in detail in this folder while coding. I'm giving you an overview. Okay. So this contains some internal code. Okay. So currently we are not worried about that. Public, we basically have an index.html. Okay. And of course some favicon logo and all those things. Okay. The good thing in this thing is like you can see it has a like what they say. What happened? Okay, and the link is in some weird way. Okay, we'll discuss why it is weird. Okay, and the thing that I want to tell you, in the body of apart from this no script, like if the browser does not have a JavaScript enabled, you cannot run React, right? React is based on JavaScript. So a message for that. Apart from this, div id root, okay, and this div is there, empty div is there, and an ID is given there. So whenever this situation is there, what do? We basically go to JavaScript. From the ID, I can literally pass something here inside the div, right? So this you can imagine something of React. So we literally code a lot of things in React, and then what will we do? We'll put the whole thing in between these two div. Sounds something peculiar? Yep, it is. Okay. So whatever coding that we'll done will basically between these two divs, the output. Okay. Okay, because you know, like React is JavaScript. Okay. So like if I have to render JavaScript, how do I do it? I render it to HTML, right? Document.getElement by ID using that. So I think I named a little more of JavaScript here. For non-JavaScript guys, you may get angry with me, but something cannot be helped. No? Okay. This was about the public folder. Now we came to this folder. You can love it, you can hate it, doesn't matter. 99%, let's say 90% of the coding will do it here. Okay. Then we have basically git ignore. If you guys know what is git, so in git ignore the files are there. When we push these things to git, okay, these files will not be pushed. If you don't know it, ignore it for now. Package log.json is there, package.json read empty. So of course number of files is there, but we'll discuss about package.json. So package.json, you can imagine it like something like the setting file of this complete React application. So this file contains your name, version, and other things. Then it keeps an important thing called dependencies. In dependencies, we have few things, but some of the important dependencies are React, React DOM, and some others. But what is a dependency? Let's discuss about that. Okay, so dependency, you can think something like that. I showed you that NPM thing, right? So now what happened when you want to use something from the NPM that was created, like they were like, let's suppose I want to create the OTP thing from NPM. So I'll install this in my project, okay? And whenever I install a new thing in my project, that thing will be added as a dependency. You can think like this. When you want to import some, let's suppose you want to use a math feature or some other feature in a language, sometimes you have to import it, right? So that's a basic example, but this is something like same, but here instead of importing from the language, we import it from a different place like internet, basically NPM packets, right? We'll see all dependencies and all, like we'll go on using this. Okay. So currently our aim is to understand them well. Okay. So this file is there. So now what I'll do, this is a VS Code. Oh, sorry if I did not tell you earlier. This is a VS Code editor. If you guys have not this, you guys can literally download this VS Code. VS Code, just download it. VS Code. Some questions that are quite general at this stage. Can I use a Notepad, Notepad++? Throw it away. Okay, and especially for coding. They are way back in 2011. Okay, like I used to follow a YouTube channel of Bucky or something. You guys may not have heard it. Okay, that time I used to use Notepad, or Notepad++. No. Okay, so I love Visual Code Studio. Okay, and I'm not pro. Okay, my video went away, disappeared for a moment. Not a problem. So this one I will not edit. Okay, so this is again a Microsoft product. I'm not promoting it. Okay, this is really a very good software. Okay, so let's come here. Okay, so now let's run it. So for running it, what you can go to the top, you'll get an option for terminal. Open new terminal, and now this will be this. Once you have downloaded this, options will be same for all. Like even if my videos goes for a while, I think sometime it happens. I don't know why. Maybe issues with software. Okay, anyway. Okay, so this is the case. If it happens again, then I'll see what to do. Anyway, once you have installed the software, the options will be pretty much same for all of you, irrespective of your operating system. Okay, so you'll get a terminal option like this. Open it, and in the terminal, we'll write npm. We already have installed npm. Remember, I will check it in the terminal. Npm start. Once you click npm start, now give it a second, more than a second, and we'll see something amazing. Like when React has written a default code. Okay, so what will happen? It will give you a default application. Okay, so we'll see it. So set the thing got open on my first thing. So I'll just drag and drop here. It's opening. Let it open. Oh bro, open fast. People are waiting for you, man. Let's close this. And we'll need this now from now. It takes time in general. Okay, so you cannot do much. I was just telling him if he can open fast. Okay, and we'll wait. Sometime we can literally wait. If you have not finished your lunch break or coffee, no, you cannot do it now. Just the water will work. Okay, so now let's be back. Hey bro, please open. Shall we pray to God? Okay, it finally opened. Oh, that was earlier was something else now. So you have a React logo, something about React, not something text. Okay, and when you click on it, basically it takes you to the React docs that we have already seen it, right? Okay, awesome. So this page is there. Let's suppose I want to write hello world here instead of this. So it has basically told you edit in the source folder. Okay, go to the source folder. In the source folder, go to app.js. There I can edit this line, right? So in the source, I need to go to app.js. Will have that line somewhere. Okay, but you can literally make it up and down. Okay. Okay, so now let's remove the whole thing. Okay, and what will I write? I'll basically write hello world. So now this will be saved. Now once it is saved, like you don't have to restart the server again or go and refresh the page again. No, everything will be automatic. And you have a hello world here. So we have done a basic hello world project in React. But have we understood something? No. Why we did it there? No idea, man. It was just written there and we went and did it. And something happened. Right? Awesome. I get you. It's not your fault. Okay. So we will do it in a way that we can understand everything. Okay. Sorry. So now, see, to be honest, there are a lot of codes from earlier and it's very difficult to understand it. And I'm like totally with you in this. Okay. So now I told you guys, most of the time we'll be working in the source file, right? SRC. So what I'll do now, since there are a lot of files in the src, so what I'll do a pretty great example. So what do you think is the best way to understand these files? Any suggestion, hints? Just keep it up to you. Later we'll see it. So let's come to our teaching and we'll come to our demo. Hello world, our source file, right? We have a lot of files. What is the best way to understand this file? Let's take each file and delete it. And create them again and write the code on your own and understand it. The best way, right? So delete. So it's in my trash bin. Okay. Now we got an error because it's searching for index.js file. Okay. Inside the source folder, but it's not found, so it's giving you an error. It's obvious we just deleted it, right? Awesome. So these are like cross, means they are not there. Okay. So now, of course, here also that you got an error. But no worries. Now let's create it. So from this, I understood the first file that it looks for is index.js, right? So let's click here. Let's create a new file. Let's name it index.js. So I have just created the file. I have not done anything else. Now let's have a look. No, this is from the previous, okay? You are not so lucky that you will get something like this. Okay. You got a blank page. That means we have no errors, right? So that means index.js file was the file it was looking for, right? And we have given that file. But what all things should I include in this file and what all things we should do? So currently we'll do a lot of things here. Then we'll like other things will slowly make new files and move it there so we can understand it. Okay. Okay, so now let's write it here. So now what basically I'll come to my package.json. In the package.json, in the dependency, I will just talk about these two dependencies, React and React DOM. Of course, whenever you write some React code, we'll import React at a lot of places. Okay, and what is about React DOM? React DOM is basically used for rendering the code. Where should I render the code? In the public index.html inside the div, right? That will be amazing, right? Okay, so let's start to import. How to import? Import. What do we want to import? So you can give a name here. Whatever name you give, you will use that name. Import React from, and this name you should write exactly the way it is written in the package.json. React with a small letters. Okay, then write it like this. Okay. So now we have written perfectly. Whatever name you write here, that name you always have to use it whenever you use it. For React DOM, similarly, we'll do import React DOM. Okay. Some people try to write it capital small, but doesn't matter. Whatever you write, you use it. DOM, where I want to import React DOM. React DOM. This is how it is written there. I know it. And so I did not have a referred here. Initially, you can refer here. The way it is written here, exactly you need to write it here. So now we have imported React DOM. Is it perfect? Awesome. Okay. So now there are several things that we'll do. Okay. The first thing that we'll do, I'll write something that looks like a function. Let's have a look. Okay. So let's write a function. Okay. Spelling is correct. I hope so. And let's give a function name as app. Let's give it a capital name. Okay. Make sure this first letter is capital. I'll tell you about why. Okay. App. And how do you create a function now? You literally give this bracket and then start doing it. Okay. And then I'll write a return. A function can have a return. And in the return, okay, I'll be returning something. Let's return hello world. Hello world. It looked like a function, but how did you return a hello world here? Can I write that in a real function? Go give it a try. Okay. Now, I'll of course talk about this in much detail now itself. Okay. So for now, what I'll do, this is like our React. This is React DOM. No? So whatever piece of code that we have written, what we need to do? React DOM, that file, HTML file, right? Index.html. So React DOM, you have written like this. Okay, so React DOM.render. So basically you have to technically render all the code that you have written so that it can produce your output. For now, let's suppose. Okay, first let me write it. So basically it will have two things. The first thing, the name of the code. Okay, so for now, it's app, right? So let's write app. And here, like most of the beginners will make a mistake here. So I also have made a mistake, then we'll correct it. Okay. And then let's give it a name, something like here in the second place, what I want to write, I basically want to render it. So how to render it? All JavaScript guys, document dot get element. Where is my suggestion? Yeah, we are smart. Get element by ID, and then I don't want so much suggestion. And here you want to write the ID. So what is your ID? Your ID is root. So let's write root. So now let's go there. It's okay. Let's go there and see it. Even if you reload it, it does not appear anything. But we have literally written a hello world. Okay. So if you go to inspect, what happened to my inspect? If you go to console, if you don't get it, it may appear to you in some other direction. Okay. We have some errors. Functions are not valid as React child. Okay, what happened to my error? This may happen if you return a component instead of from render. Basically, what it is trying to say, this thing that we have created, which looks like a function, is not a function at all. This is a component. And the next interesting part that I'll say you, what if I say this is not HTML? Half of you will like, what are you saying? Really, it's not HTML, it's JSX. It's very similar to HTML. It's like you can say modified version for HTML with some here and there changes in HTML. So JSX, along with the course, you guys will be seeing what are the changes. Okay, but if you know HTML, you don't have to learn JSX. It was talking right, right? Yeah. So like see, this is a component, not a function. So component, whenever you write it like a tag. So you can write it like a self-closing tag. I hope that you know. Okay. So now you have written it. So now it's compiling. It will just take a second. Okay. And let's go here. Let's close this. Let's reload this. If sometimes it takes time. And we have perfectly got a hello world. But what a boring hello world we have got. No colors, no CSS, nothing. But anyway, from here I think we guys will continue slowly in the upcoming class. Let's keep the demo class short, and I think it's already been long. So dear guys, like to all my brothers and sisters, I am married, so I can say you guys all brothers and sisters. Okay, so to all brothers and sisters, you guys are invited to this course. And a very important warning: never call me sir, always call me Abhishek. If someone calls me sir, I feel like I have grown old. Okay, so no, not at all. No calling sir to me. Okay, so that's all. Let's like it will literally take me like 20 to 30 minutes more to cover this topic. So let's keep it for the class. Okay. Else when I teach in the class, you guys will be chilling and enjoying. I don't want that. Okay, so done. So now let me stop the recording and bye bye.